Hi, aside from poor health, I've run into some real big problems making this video and the videos that I intend to follow. I've been working on it for weeks, and my biggest problem is that so many of my sources do not want to have anything more to do with this issue. They've been so traumatized by the Yahweh Clan and Encyclopedia Dramatica that even though they've given me useful information, and even though there's information available that I could point you to, they have forbidden me to do that because they fear that they will be drawn in once more into things that they have stated would not be beneficial to their health. Much as I hate it, I'm going to have to say some things that I can't fully document. I'm not saying the documentation isn't there, I'm just saying I can't ethically show it to you. If you do your own digging, you can find it. Now the first thing to understand is, before there was a Yahweh Clan, there was Encyclopedia Dramatica. There were individual trolls, as they call them, that were associated with Encyclopedia Dramatica. There was a kind of a loose kinship there, and there still is. And one of these trolls we call her Rue. I've already documented some of her actions in a previous video. I gave you a link to a video by timewarlord from early January of last year. What precipitated that trolling of CircaRigel and Violetkitty411? Well, there was an incident involving a user on YouTube whose mental health is not stable, and this Rue woman had made it a project to have this person follow through on a threat to commit suicide on New Year's Eve 2006. And CircaRigel actually was able to get an ambulance to go to this woman's house, and they took her to the hospital. And there's a lot of controversy about that, but the bottom line is that this is why CircaRigel and Violetkitty, who is also a friend to the victim I'm speaking of, were being targeted by Rue. She's been called Vanessa, supposedly in the UK. That is looking more and more to be accurate, but I'm not yet certain. I haven't confirmed that myself. Again, I'm not able to fully document this. Unfortunately, I can't reveal who this person was. A lot of people do know. A lot of people could point you that way if you're really interested. Don't PM me because I won't. I've been asked not to. So moving forward a bit. CircaRigel, Violetkitty411, Zipster08, a few other people, including some kids, and Irsh282 were all in a group called the YouTube Vigilantes. So when this Rue woman, Vanessa, whatever, began the psychotic stalking of CircaRigel, Irsh282 made a video that was very confrontational. To be honest, I don't think Irsh282 knew what he was getting into at all. Remember, there was no Yahweh Clan. I don't even know if he knew that he was taking on Encyclopedia Dramatica, but I do have a bit of this video that Irsh282 made. And as you can see, if you're a psychotically obsessed stalker of someone. This would be seen as a direct challenge and something that would refocus that psychotic obsession. And with the really mentally ill people that we're dealing with at Encyclopedia Dramatica, these obsessions just won't go away. There's something very twisted in their sense of what is and isn't acceptable. Disrespect, for example, is absolutely not acceptable. They want to be feared. In many cases they are feared, which is why I have so much trouble with the documentation. But anyway, let's take a look at this video by Irsh282. Okay, now here's a screen cap of that video. And here is a sample of that video. Now, in case you have any doubts that this would produce a reaction from Encyclopedia Dramatica, who were friends with this Rue woman, just remember how I got into this. I made one comment to the Rue woman, questioning her logic. Now let's quickly revisit that. Here's the statement again. As you can see, she refers to a plethora of references, not evidence. So it wasn't really even necessary for me to Google Irsh282 to refute her logic. The assertion that a plethora of references is equivalent to valid evidence is absurd on its face. But I did go ahead and Google Irsh282, and I did see for myself that there was no evidence. There was only a plethora of accusations. A plethora of accusations is not evidence. A plethora of accusations is meaningless. I would encourage you to do this yourself, because that's all you will find. And a couple of trumped up things. Most of it you'll find on Encyclopedia Dramatica now. There is one fake, and it's obviously fake, email supposedly sent from Violetkitty411 stating concerns about Irsh282. Not even that is stating that he is in fact a pedophile. It's stating there are concerns, and it's a fake. Violetkitty411 has said that it's a fake. And if you look at it, it's obvious that it's a fake. But there are people who are willing to believe just about anything. And that can't be helped. But as Lenin said, a lie repeated often enough becomes the truth. But since we know that, we can be careful. Since we know that, as adults, as educated people, we can evaluate evidence on its merits and not its volume. So I think that'll wrap it up for part 1. Stay tuned for part 2.